Let's have a look at the bike. Saw it already a million times, but let's do it again. That's the oil cooler radiator. Let's do it there. Mesh doing the job. Exhaust did the job as well. Can you see it? Just there you go. So this is in collaboration with two of my sponsors, because as I said, it's time to introduce you to my sponsors. First, it's Gurney's Family Butchers. Good lads, very good meat. He's a local butcher. I does enduro as well, and they do support me. I have a good deal with them, which is nice, you know. And this is something that we should talk about. Again, coming from, this is again the 1% series, so the journey of someone who not able doing this stuff to someone who's able to do races on this bike, and obviously building the prototype bike. And don't take me wrong, I am not up to the bike's full potential, not even close, not even half of it probably, because again I'm only starter, so I'm still a novice. But the bike being so good obviously compensates for my lack of skills, my lack of talent. So I don't want to take credit for everything. The bike really does an amazing job. The tires are good. Front is getting better now. Maybe it was a different, maybe it was new. I don't know if that is a factor. I don't know. It's growing on me. It was slightly different than Michelin Medium. I think it's good. I need more testing. Is good. But the second sponsor, let's not drift off the topic, is T-Tex Suspension. T-Tex Suspension is a good guy. He doesn't like to call it sponsorship because it's not. It's more of a collaboration. The way it works is that you know, we have to start from the beginning. I had the front end, which is, as you know, Boano parts, race parts. I took it from them because at the time they were the only ones. They were the only ones doing the 48mm full conversion, and I was happy with it. But after a little bit of time, it started to be strange. I didn't like it anymore. It was weird. It was soft, but at the same time a bit sketchy, and it just didn't respond the way it used to. And I thought, okay, it's just for maybe just time for the service, but it felt more than just a service. Same with the back, so I reported this to this guy, to the T-Tex Suspension, and it's like, look, have a look, because I don't know, you know, I like the front end, I like the geometry and all that stuff, the strength, but something is wrong. And essentially we find out the fuck up Boano left in the forks, which I'm very, very upset about this, because they say they do a special revolving, you know, proper settings inside the forks to support, you know, a full adventure bike, which is over 200 kilograms. This is much lighter, and when you say that, when you send the emails, they ask you what you're doing with them, so they say that for you. So this is all good feeling. You have this big company which has years and years of experience of rally racing, including Dakar. So they are a big name in Italy for, you know, suspensions and building these bikes. They specialize in Africa Twins mostly, but now they've done a lot of development on T7 as well. I had a lot of stuff from them, and I'm happy with everything. But you know, when they say we set the suspensions for you directly, so I say, okay, yeah, we're gonna use them on the road, obviously transfers, but mostly racing, rally racing and training, you expect to be as good as they claim to be. But we found out it was the holders that hold the springs inside the forks of the tubes are plastic. Now, even on a dirt bike, first thing you do, you remove them, because they're not strong enough even for a 100 kilograms motorcycle. Not yet over 200 kilograms plus the rider on it, and they left the plastic ones. Now, a friend of mine who won last year's British Rally Championship, this year he started on 87, had their forks, put them on first race, they collapsed. That part completely broken because it was bottoming end too much, too easily, so it wasn't set up properly. And but you can claim that he was riding too hard if you want to, so that's up to discussion. But what's not up to discussion are the folks they broke down, and he collapsed them, broke the fender, piece of fender went inside the radiator, broke the radiator. That was the end of the race, and pretty much of his end of his championship. He's in the class leading the championship, so that's quite bad. So what happened? I didn't know because I didn't open my forks yet. He showed me the plastic. How to change the card. So he said, what's going on? This shouldn't be here. It's plastic. It's not good for even their bike. So he asked me to give him a hand to speak with Boano, because again they're in Italy and I speak Italian because I grew up in Italy. So we sent an email to Boano about the warranty, because hey, folks are brand new, they're already broken, and clearly there is a big fuck up inside. No one was expecting to find that. So what happened is the Boano said, yeah, no problems, this we cover that in the warranty, we give you 30% of discount on the new part. And if you want to, it's like, you know, if you want to, you can upgrade it to aluminium one, and it give you 30% of discount. And obviously we said, the fuck is what? No, that's not a warranty. That's not how a warranty works. So you give me the discount because you have that discount. I'm still paying for the part. You covering nothing. There's no warranty, the way you say it, because we have 40% discount on those parts anyway. So also he said, oh, this is strange. You are one of the only 3 people who managed to break them, because Ivan broke them, Paul Tares broke them, and you broke them. It's like, well, holy shit, so you know they break and you left them there, and it doesn't make any sense. So we were really upset, so I decided to change them on my own anyway, because there's no point to talk to them. I don't like that stuff. So I rather stay polite, but when I get into an argument when something is not right, I lose my coolness. So I rather was like, okay, fuck it, you know. I had this folks for a year now, so there's, you know, I don't want the 30% discount when I have 40% discount here. That's not the warranty. So, and then I met T-Tech Suspension casually at the ABF STO. We made sort of deal, and he was in the process of developing a kit for the Tenere 700 48mm, like Boano, but better. So now, as I sent him my suspensions to do, he redid my rear shock. He was in a bad condition, but that was my fault. I have to admit, there was nothing wrong with the shock absorber. We had the gas in the oil, but it was abused, and I should have serviced it. I've done many races and a lot of abuse, and that was okay, that was normal. He just needed the service. However, he upgraded it, he made it better. He knows a couple of tricks that, you know, they come out from shop and all that stuff, they all kind of the same, but then, you know, you set them up specifically for you, plus he knows small tricks to make them work even better and even under less stress. So it should last longer than it lasted before. So now it should last the whole season, no problems. The front forks, now we find something shocking. That was very bad. Apart obviously my plastic bits, they started to break, and I think I had maybe 20-30 minutes of riding, hard riding, before they broke down and collapsed my forks, like they did on this friend of mine. And I've tested them today, and they were much better already. But what happened, so there was some dodgy spaces like made by hand to make the spring longer, because where the spring actually is a little bit too short than it should be. We compensated somehow, I can't remember what we did exactly. And then the oil, no, there was no revolving done, not at all. There was just a harder spring inside, and just much thicker. I saw it coming out because he did it in front of me. It looked like honey. Honestly, it was that thick. And I don't say it was emotion or anything because bad use, it was hard use. No. That was very hard oil. Now something like this we used to do when we were kids. You know, we had no money, so we're trying to stiffen the suspensions to be able to go on a track better by getting a thicker oil. But that was a different. There was open cartridge, no closed cartridge like this, you know, different technology, and we had no money. And that worked only for period of time, and after that it starts to overheat because the valves really don't like that thick of oil. You can't do it. It just doesn't work. It overheats them everything. Everything in time works much better. As a matter of fact, what I reported before is like in time it just went worse, very, very bad. Even during the race, you know, it started, it was fine, and then overheated, and then it was bad. And I thought it was me. Turns out, no, it was a pure fuck up inside the suspension. Now, I think Boano solved that stuff, because now they upgrading, they changing that part. They say, oh, there's a proper revolving now. Oh, really? And now we're using aluminium parts. Okay, so you admit that you use those. Why you haven't said that before? It really upsets me. So we decided we're gonna do the suspensions on the whole kit. In collaboration with T-Tech, so that's my second sponsor, but it's more of a collaboration than sponsorship. And that's it. So far, very good. I mean, Lee Waters, he's a hell of a rider. He did Red Bull Romaniacs countless times. He knows how to ride a bike. He's riding the bike every day. He's got 87 as well. He loves the suspension. This is the first thing he sees, like, oh, lovely, really good suspension. So, you know, this is what we're gonna do, and we continue to develop the front end. And I think, you know, he said I have another 3 or 4 different settings to try, but I'm already impressed. You know, the front as it is now, it already is really, really good, and I'm already happy with that. So the only thing before reporting back to him is the bottoming out when we have to jump, because I need to find something to jump properly. So I think I'm gonna book in a motocross track or something like this, because obviously today was not possible. But all the rest, small jumps, and that one there, that one is stupid technical jumps. You really go and land on the flat on the small speed. So it's a worst case scenario. And I've touched at the bottom and just touched it. It wasn't using it fully yet. So that's good. So yeah, looking at T-Tech suspension. If you want to get 40mm kit for the Franco VT7, soon is going to be available, and it's spot on. It really is good. And I tell you something, sometimes it's actually better to get this stuff from the smaller companies, because they have to put their name up. You know, they try to please the customer instead of big companies like Boano did, you know, relying on the big names. Because I didn't have a doubt that this would be completely awesome, the best kit you can have. And we found out inside it was almost a scam, you know. So, but anyways, on the other note, I want to show you something. Look at this beauty. Lee is having these awesome tires from Red Bull Motorsport. He is selling them. They look really good. Now look at this thing. This is very, you know what, I'm gonna do a comparison between one and another. Now I can't use them because I have 2.5-inch rims, so my rims are too narrow for this. But first of all, you see how wide it is. Obviously this is going to be not as wide once you put in the rim, because they go on a 4-inch rim. This is specifically designed for adventure bikes. This is 150, 70, 18, so this is good for both road, obviously it's still no bit higher, and obviously oriented for off-road, but I'm very confident this on the road will be very good. Reason for that is because you still have a very fair amount of spacing between the blocks, less than on the proper enduro stuff, you see, but the blocks are chunky. I mean, see this? These moves a lot, you know, and I'm riding this on the road and I'm having a blast. I'm having good fun because you can drift the roundabouts, corners. I drifted even fifth once, a bit sketchy, but it was very good. These, they don't move. They don't move that much. I mean, enough to have a grip on off-road, but on the road this is very stable. And being lower profile, it doesn't move around as much as the enduro tire. So, you know, to be honest, now it's almost a shame I have a narrow rim because I would like to test them. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna test them anyway. I'm gonna put them on the. Oh Jesus! Why I have a camera on my helmet? I think I'm gonna put an 18-inch rim on my Subaru 750 and get one of these because I'm very curious. This is game changer because this is the first tire, knobby tire, but very chunky. This is not just a knobby tire, now no more enduro tire. This is more. You can tell this is hard. This is proper carcass. You know, it's proper. These ones, they floppy in comparison, so this will do very well off-road. I would say kind of like Baja Championship rallies, you know, this kind of terrain, mud as well, why not? Absolutely. I think this is a very good design. I really want to test them. I really want to see how they go. This terrain over here, even, yeah, they'll be spot on. Green laning, but again, road use. So, for example, when you have to do green laning, or you know, do some adventures where you know there could be some sketchy stuff, you want to count on a proper grip, I would use it, because I'm pretty sure they will not wear out as quick as this. Obviously, you can see it's like 3 times the rubber on the tarmac contact, but still very good on the road. So yeah, adventure stuff, I think I will use it. Will I go as far as down to Morocco, maybe on the road, on the highways? Probably not, because you probably wear them out, but I will probably take it with me and change it over there. Yeah, absolutely. Green laning, no more use, so road, mixed road and off-road. I think this is the tire. This is the tire. I wish they could do it for the 140, so I can put on my rim. So anyways, gives Lee Waters, is obviously on his Facebook or whatever. If not, contact me. I'll give you the contact for Lee and for those tires. They're really good. Again, I'm not sponsored or anything. It's like, this is not paid. Don't think I'm doing the publicity or anything. I have no interest selling these. I have nothing, no collaboration at all. I just saw them there, and Elise told me that he sells them. He's like, "Whoa, this is good." I heard about them. I heard about Rebel Motorsports. They doing these tires for the adventure bikes, and it looks the bollocks. It looks really good. So yeah, try them. I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed. I like it. And short day today, because like I said, I have to change the radiators in my bathroom, so I got to keep Mrs. happy too. It's not all about me, and just to be honest, I'm not saying I had enough, but almost. After 2 months not riding a bike, you get tired very quickly. You know, I should really ride more, but it's enough. I'm happy with it. It's good. And you just drop it down, and then I want to say something else. I don't want to make this video too long, but there's one thing I need to say. Come with me. Come with me. Ooh, sketchy. When they are. So, there's one thing. Let me push it this way. What? Oh, there you go. So, there's one thing I want to say. I was speaking with Lee, and Lee is a hardcore guy. And there are rumors that everything you do with Lee has to be hardcore, you know, he's hard, all this stuff. That's completely not true. He really, you know, does whatever you need. If you want it soft and easy, it'll be soft and easy. If you want it hard, it'll be hard. If you want it extremely hard, yeah, you're gonna shit yourself. So it really suits your needs. I used to push him to like, just don't save me, don't worry, just do it as hard as it could be for me, because I want to grow as much as possibly can. I'm not worried to hurt myself. Well, obviously not too much. I don't want broken legs, but I know the risks. So I assure him that it's like, I'm not worried to drop the bike. So let's go. And even then he was a bit, no, well, not too much. And then and obviously we end up doing too much anyway. But what that did, it put me in a position very quickly, very short amount of time, to be able to actually take place in competition. And it's stupid, it's way too quick, and yet I was able to do it, and I'm not doing bad. So, you know, it's a lot of good coming out from that. But what I want to say to adventure riders that don't want to do competition, because again, adventures, like when we're out here, I actually enjoyed kind of discovering stuff, like expedition, like finding out what this guy, couldn't remember where the track goes. You see, it's like, let's go have a look here, let's go have a look there. But the problem is on the big bike, sometimes it's like, let's go have a look what's there. Okay. Chill, brother. Horses. But sometimes you could get yourself in a situation where it takes you by surprise. It did certainly take me out of surprise here, but that was hard enduro. Some places like, oh shit, we shouldn't go up down there. Like, leave the brakes, don't touch anything, just a little on the back, and yeah, it was sketchy in places. Up the hill, that one, yeah, I'm over the moon. I was able to do it because last time I tried my hardest. Trust me, I give it all I had. There was no chance. Today, just like this, how it happened? Practice. Do this stuff. Do the sketchy stuff if you have to practice. The best way to do it is do it on an eye that he knows what to do, like Lee and people like him. Unlikely, because again, I used to train with him. I train with him still. He still gives me advices and all that stuff. He's a great guy. So push yourself, not because some people say, well, I don't need doing that stuff, you know, I don't have to know that stuff, only do expedition, only gonna do some adventure, some soft off-road. It doesn't matter, you don't get the point. When you're boxing, the knockout is not the one that you see, it's the one you don't see. And this is the same problem in enduro, any sort of off-road, hard or soft. You know, you may go into places like, oh, looks nice, let's go down there, and it gets narrower and narrower and steeper and more difficult. And sometimes with the big bikes there is very little chance to turn around, and yet if you learn how to, first of all, it's going to be easy to actually turn around if you still have that chance, and also it's going to be easy to get out of troubles because you trained for those troubles. Train for the worst case scenario and hope for the best, but whatever happens, happens. When I started doing rallies, and I was like, you know what, because Lee was like, listen, you're ready for the race, you can go out there, learn the navigation, you can race in the rallies, no problems. I said, no, Lee, I'm not ready. It's like, yeah, you're ready. It's like, no, I'm not ready. In your head, I'm ready as the abilities, but what I need is to grow and have much bigger abilities that are going to be needed. So in the worst case scenario, whatever they're going to throw at me, I can deal with it. And this is exactly what you want, especially because you don't do competition, especially because you don't do racing. Why I'm saying this? When we do racing, there are marshals, there are other competitors, you know. If shit happens, I mean, I've crashed, I cracked my ribs, hole in my tongue, actually two of them, one massive, I could move my finger through, dislocated shoulder, something happened to my neck, lots of stuff. Within minutes, well, actually within seconds, well, within minutes, a marshal was with me on the radio calling the ambulance. Within minutes the ambulance was with me checking me out, took me down to the paddocks. All right, okay, that was maybe drastic, but it happens. It happens very stupidly. I didn't do anything difficult. It was gravel road, the vision was bad. I've made a stupid mistake. I remember the corner was much wider, it was closing, I went off and in and out badly. It could happen, but the problem is if it happens on your adventure, mistakes happens. If you're riding all day, 7 days, 14 days, a month, it could happen. The risk is very high. If it happens, what are you gonna do? If you're not trained to take care of yourself and of your bike, if you end up in a ditch and you cannot get out of that ditch, and you know it's possible, but you can't do it because your skills are not up to the level, then that's your fault. You asking for troubles, because all you had to do, I'm not shitting you, it's not too much, book yourself a weekend, 2 weekends with someone like Lee, you know, people like this, to not off-road experience, to teach you how to, okay? Difference, off-road experience is one thing, coaching one-to-one is completely different. Coaching like Lee does, 2 weekends, and I assure you, you'll be completely different rider. I know because it happened to me. So it's like this adventure is like, again, why you train this stuff? This was sketchy. This shit was sketchy for me. I was shitting myself. Okay, I was testing the bike, suspension, that's the deal, blah blah. I need to test this stuff for you guys too, because who wants to race? Who wants to improve the ability of your bike and yourself? You know, suspensions are everything. Even if you just travel, even if you don't do the sketchy stuff, this stuff, you know, this suspension keeps the bike safe, more able to do this stuff. I am good as much as I am, mostly because of the good motorcycle, of the good suspensions. So now we're developing this stuff, and then, you know, again, I have to test it here to put it really on the test to see how it goes in the worst case scenario. Again, we're still missing jumps, big jumps, but now it comes. So far is amazing. I'm very good. I will be comfortably. I will be confident if he will sell this kit as it is now with these settings on. It's very good. I've tested the bike on the road. It's very stable, very, very stable. You can put the bike under stress and it will not give up on you. Here, you show it yourself. Lee, don't take my word, Lee, yeah, they're very good. So we're doing a very good job with the front end and the back too, because remember, this comes together. The rear shock absorber, 230mm wheel travel, and front now is 300mm travel all the way up. So that's good. So we have to test it. I drifted off topic again, as my usual. No, the bike is good, and you know, even if you don't want to race in and don't want to do the stuff, just go and train yourself, because it's very important for your safety, for your comfort on the bike, you know, for the abilities and everything. And I do the sketchy stuff, and eventually I'm gonna stop doing like the British Rally Championship next year. I'm probably gonna enter again, but eventually gonna stop, because for me all these races, these enduro races and Baja and all the stuff, is just training. Because eventually, ultimately, my goal is long distance rallies. You know, of course, the biggest dream is the Africa Eco Race, but that's so expensive that, again, 99% won't happen. But smaller ones, you know, 5, 6, 7 days, you know, there's rallies abroad. Yeah, why not? You know, Morocco Challenge, Sahara Challenge, and all that stuff. Probably, you're not gonna find anything like this. You're not gonna find not even a third of the difficulty we find out here. If I'm comfortable with this stuff, because I am now, even though I shit myself sometimes, it was like, oh shit, because it wasn't expected. I will still do it, obviously, but you know, it's like up the hill, try the bike. Obviously today was testing. Some of them I was 90% sure, 99% sure it wouldn't make it, but we had a 1% chance it would, and it surprised me. It went up, no problems. Awesome. So yeah, I love it. It's very, very good. Train, test, and then now I think I am getting ready for big rallies, for everything they throw at me. Anyways, I think it's time for me to go home and do this. Radiators in my bathroom. You have to. I'm so busy all the time. I you know, it's not spending enough time home with my kids and my wife. It's not good, you know. And the moment I have a day taking the bike out, testing and riding, working on the bike, and all this stuff. Don't ask, you know, exactly what that is.